Hi everyone, it's Don once again, and this is Construction Update video number 151, Catching Up Part 2. In this video, I'll finish catching up with what's happened in 2024, as this will be my last video for the year. But don't worry, I'll be back in 2025 with a lot more. Also in this video, I'm going to take a look at what's going on, possibly for the next 5, maybe 6 years. And hopefully I can share some insights with you. So let's get started. Welcome back, and let's start this second part of our catching up in the commercial district of Middleton. One of the first things we see is they've got their Christmas tree up, just like the other town squares. This is Four Rivers Barbecue, and we rotate to our left, and this is Victory Family Sports Grill, another FMK restaurant. As we continue down, you get a feel for just how big Victory Family Sports Grill is. Where this light is and you see the passageway inside the building, that's where it ends. It's huge. The gray building is the provision store. It's kind of a convenience store for groceries. But that's not the grocery store that's coming into Middleton. That's going to be just to the back of where this building is being built. As we continue on, the first part of this building is TSG, Technology Services Group, the IT department, if you will, of the Villages. The ground floor of the brick building with the arched upper windows is Middleton 24. And as we continue on, the building at the end of the street is again Four Rivers Barbecue. It doesn't appear that there's going to be a shortage of places to eat in Middleton. As we continue farther up, the building in front of us is more commercial properties, and if I had to guess, there'd be at least another restaurant in there. Looking at the corner nearest us, you see the awning over a big area. Again, probably a restaurant with outdoor eating. Once again, we get another look at Victory Family Sports Grill, and we'll continue flying down above Randy McDaniel Drive in front of the high school, and we see more and more commercial buildings being built. The one at the end, from my understanding, is going to be the ice cream store. There's a huge parking lot behind all these commercial buildings, and the building at the top of the screen is the developer's new office. As we continue on, we see more and more storefronts. As I drove by this morning, there were signs showing what was going into each of these. I'll cover those in a future video. Down here, we have the kids' play area. While not a lot of Villages residents will be going there, they may be taking their grandkids there to play at some future date. Probably this summer without a doubt. I have no idea what this building is with the tall smokestack, but I'm sure it's going to have some theme to it. More commercial property is scheduled for this open field here, and as we rotate around, we get a nice view of the middle school and elementary school. We'll continue rotating around, and this is the boathouse. A restaurant is going in here. We get another view of the high school. If you haven't had a chance to go to the high school and look at these facilities, it's absolutely amazing. They have really put together a first-class learning establishment for these kids, and they are extremely fortunate to have all these facilities made available to them. The dark area just below and to the right of the ClosetWise logo is where the new grocery store will eventually be built. No word has yet been put out on what's going in there, but I'm sure they'll announce it soon enough. Let's see if we can take a closer look at that. There we go. That's a little better, isn't it? So it's a big area, so it's going to be a good-sized grocery store. And it's definitely something residents in this area are clamoring for, both in the Middleton family area as well as the Villages over 55 community. As we continue to our right, the area just below the road is where the Middleton Hotel is going to be, That's the second hotel going in the Middleton Eastport area. We've already seen in the last video the Eastport Hotel. It's been topped out, so it's as high as it's going to go. Now they're going to start building up the walls and doing the interior fill work. While Middleton itself is not technically considered part of the Villages, it is an integral part of the community. It is golf cart accessible already, and people can get to the high school, most particularly to the Tracy, which is the square area of the high school, just to the left of the peaked roof down the one side. Of course, the big attraction for Middleton, besides the shops, is the large number of eating establishments that are planned. Early drawings that I saw showed almost a dozen different places, and so far, I think 6 or 7 have already been announced. Also, something else that's coming here I just found out is custom apparel, the people that do the shirts and the name tags and all that are currently up on 466. They're opening a second location in Middleton. Let's face it, we're not as young as we once were. Climbing those old-fashioned attic stairs to get the Christmas decorations down or to stow those family treasures is just too dangerous. Majic Stairs is the safer alternative. Real steps with safety rails at a safer angle and safety rails in the attic provide the safest attic access available. Having troubles getting things to and from the attic? The Majic Attic Lift can be there to help. Designed by Villages resident Ron Berner, every Majic Stairs and Majic Attic Lift is custom built in their Ocala, Florida factory and installed by their technicians. Why take chances? For less than the cost of one emergency room visit, you can have Majic Stairs installed in your home. Majic Stairs, the safer, more convenient alternative. The traffic circle on the left was Landstone Boulevard. Take the road south from there and it takes you over to the Shallow Creek Championship Golf Course. This area that I'm flying over is just north of the Middleton downtown area, and it's the latest section of the residential portion of Middleton that they're working on. On the right is one of the many parks that they have built for families who live in this area to use. The structure at the top of the screen is a cement plant. Now I can't say for the folks that live in the residential portion of Middleton how loud it is, but I can tell you that over in Moultrie Creek, where I have purchased a home, the noise is barely noticeable even in the early mornings, and that's with this large open area with no obstructions. Once this is built out, I doubt we'll be able to hear it at all. The large green area on the left, next to County Road 470, as well as the next 2 ponds, are part of the Gibson Wastewater Treatment Facility. They are rapid infill ponds that allow for a leaching volume should there be a lot of demand on the wastewater treatment plant. But it's all clean water, it's just got to be percolated into the ground. There's a second set of these ponds that are scheduled to be built on the other side of US 301, several miles away. This is the Gibson Wastewater Treatment Plant. It's been in operation about 2 years, and they're still building on to add more capacity to it. This area of the Villages and Middleton do not use the Wildwood wastewater treatment facilities. This is the village of Moultrie Creek, and these 2 large kind of brownish fields are both scheduled to be commercial properties at some point, with the farthest one up ahead supposedly going to be another gymnasium type facility. Just beyond it is the high school, and then on the left we have part of the front 9 of the Shallow Creek Country Club Championship course. Coming up is one of the wells for the Gibson utility system. This is for potable water, and the tank holds approximately 1.5 million gallons of potable water. Diagonally from the well, on the southwest corner of this traffic circle, a church is being built. Coming up is the Shallow Creek Championship Course Clubhouse and the Boosters Restaurant. The water levels in all the retention ponds and lakes have returned to their normal level since the passing of Hurricane Milton. At the south end of the Shallow Creek Championship Golf Course is Bexley Trail. This is the same Bexley Trail that crosses the bridge over the turnpike. South of Bexley Trail is Phase 31 D, E, F, and G of the Villages, and Phase 11 C and D of Middleton. I'll give you a little more information on those areas in just a few minutes. As you can see, this goes on for quite a ways. As far as the eye can see in this picture is the Villages. They have about another 20 to 25 years of building that they can do in the land that they own so far. The straight line of trees running across the top of the screen runs along an old gravel road that used to service this area. The Villages has been working in this area for several years now. You can see a couple of retention ponds that they've already built that'll service this area farther south. As we rotate around, we'll look more at Phase 11C and D of Middleton. So all of the area you're looking at now is going to be part of Middleton, the family residential area that supports the Villages. Between this and what's already been built, it's a little over half of what is planned for the Middleton area. Based on the size and number of homes being built in Middleton, it's not unreasonable to expect another elementary and possibly middle school to be built farther south of where the current school facilities are. As we turn back towards the northeast, coming in at the top of the screen is once again the village of Moultrie Creek and Shadybrook. The cleared area I'm about to fly over is Phase 11B of Middleton. Once again, we're coming up on Phase 31 D, E, F, and G of the Villages. There's a lot of really interesting things going to be happening here in the next couple of years, but we'll get to that when we do the 5-year look ahead. The road on the screen is a temporary haul road, and this is where all the dump trucks you always see running a caravan throughout all the roads here in the Villages during construction end up taking the dirt to. Way up here, or should I say way down here, at the southern end of the Villages. There's other haul areas that they go to also, and you can see the stockpile yards up ahead. Eventually, they'll move all this dirt again to the areas that they need it to contour the landscaping here in the Villages as the community continues to grow.
A new wood garage door? Kelly, that's going to cost a fortune.
It might not be as bad as you think. Let's crunch some numbers. Here's the perfect solution. We're going to use garage skins.
Garage skins?
Upgrade your home today with Garage Skins, the simple and elegant solution that transforms your garage door in minutes without breaking the bank. Easy, affordable, beautiful.
As we continue to the northeast, on the left is the village of Shadybrook, and there's a traffic circle right there. That's Marsh Bend Trail. Marsh Bend Trail cuts across the top of the screen and eventually winds its way to the southeast all the way into Lake County. These retention ponds you see are part of 2 executive golf courses that are being built. I believe it's Beautyberry and Huckleberry, and there's a small community in between these 2 golf courses. Early information put out by the developer shows this area to be the village of Merritt Field, and up ahead would be the village of Farmstead. Here's the neighborhood I previously mentioned. Looking at the shape of it, it looks like some of the courtyard villa communities that we've seen up in the northern part of the Villages, where they're surrounded by golf courses in a similar fashion. Coming up is an older stockpile yard that's no longer growing. It's actually being torn down and the soil being distributed to where it's needed as the community continues to be developed. Coming up, you can see a couple of the towers for the power lines that used to parallel the old County Road 470, and you can still see a little bit of the roadbed. It's all been relocated to Central Parkway, which is coming up. The traffic circle in the upper left corner is Bexley Trail and Central Parkway. That's Eastport at the top of the screen, and these courtyard villas that you see here in the corner are actually up for sale now. Rotate back around, and we have some more veranda homes being built. And we're going to continue to follow Bexley Trail up and take another look at the village of Water's Edge. Water's Edge is currently the village that's mostly up for sale right now. A lot of lots have been made available, and of course it's very competitive trying to get a lot. This coming up is another set of patio villas. For the lots that people are trying to get, Don't be discouraged if you have to do it 2, 3, 4, 10, 15 times to get a lot. Remember, there's you and about 50 other people that all want these same choice lots, and it's all done through a random pick by the computer. On the left side of this pond is the village of Shadybrook, and it's nearly sold out. Yes, there are still some spec homes available, but they're going quickly. At that intersection is the Shadybrook Recreation Area, and on the opposite corner is the Saluki Recreation Center. I'm going to rotate around now, and I'm going to follow Bar Boulevard down for a while. Bar Boulevard starts at the traffic light at the south end of Eastport and runs south and west into the Middleton residential areas. Once again, we're coming up on the power lines on the old 470 roadbed, and this is the Water's Edge Recreation Area and Postal Station. And here's Bar Boulevard, where it dead ends at the traffic light going into Eastport. A lot of progress is being made in Eastport on a daily basis. At this traffic circle, horizontally, is Central Parkway, and vertically is McNeil Drive, and this is where you turn to the south to get on the temporary County Road 470. Eventually, Central Parkway will continue all the way down to the Florida Turnpike as a 4-lane road. In the upper left corner is the village of Citrus Grove, and the upper right corner is the village of Newell. Coming up, we see the cement plant that's been built to support all the work going on down here. We'll rotate around. This location is where the future hospital is scheduled to be. No word yet on when the hospital is going to be built. They're still working contracts, trying to get things finalized. And as we continue to turn to the south, we now see the temporary 470 and the traffic on it. And off in the distance is the area formerly known as Secret Promise. Go back and watch my video number 132, No More Secret Promise, if you want to find out more about the Secret Promise development. The straight line going to the top of the screen is where the county line is, and as we rotate around, we get another look at the power lines where the old 470 was, and we come up on fire station number 49 that's under construction. They try and build the fire stations so that there's coverage so that no home is more than 2.5 miles away from a fire station here in the villages. The foundation for the fire station is on the left, and the road going across the middle of the screen is McNeil Drive. This is a clean-out station for the Sable gas pipeline that's buried through this area. Here's the fire station once again. It's actually a lot farther along now. This video footage is about 3 weeks old. This is McNeil Drive once again, just a little bit farther south than when we started this segment. And once again, you see the power lines. Now, they're doing something special with this power line area. Just like they did in the village of Chitty Chatty and DeLuna, they're putting a walking path through this area. It's going to make for a nice area to get some exercise and walk the dog. Looking to the left, we see the village of Merritt Field. Over the decades, the villages has required quite a bit of land through dealings with the Merritt family, so I'm assuming that that's where this village is getting its name from, in honoring that family and their history here in Sumter County. This is the village of Farmstead, and on the north side of Central Parkway is the village of Sandy Hill. Beyond there being the Meadows Golf Course, there's not much else known about the area to the east of Bexley Trail, to the north of Central Parkway, and to the southeast of the Florida Turnpike. That's all still kind of quiet. I haven't seen any postings yet, but as soon as I do, I'll let you know. I'm headed east now, paralleling Central Parkway, going up to where the temporary 470 is, and we'll move on from here to the next area of Oak Hollow.
Are you looking for a garage storage solution for your clutter? Look no further. I'm Steve with A Rack Above. I've created the only freestanding overhead storage rack of its kind. Crafted from high-quality extruded aluminum, A Rack Above is super strong, holding up to 2,000 pounds on the shelf. And when you move, take A Rack Above with you. Call Steve at 407-474-1214 or visit arackabove.com for your overhead storage solution today.
We are headed west now, paralleling McNeil Drive on the right, and also on the right is the village of WellPoint. Also up ahead, they've started work on these houses on the south side of McNeil Drive. You can see the first 3 foundations have already been poured. If you go by there today, 2 weeks after this was shot, you'll see roofs on some of the houses already. Home construction is continuing at a brisk pace in WellPoint, and many of the homes are already occupied. Looking at the map for the villages, there's not a whole lot of lots left here in this area of WellPoint. Most of their sales now are being focused down in the village of Water's Edge. At least for now. That's the Live Oak Pitch and Putt up ahead, and the Central Pay Recreation Center, which is still under construction. We're going to rotate around now, and this is Corbin Trail on our left, and straight ahead is the village of Oak Hollow. There's a golf course that runs through the middle of it. That's the Woodlands Golf Course. That's one of the 9s. The other 9 is on the other side of the road. It runs through the village of Edenfield. As we continue to follow Corbin Trail around, we see this large area. This is going to be another village recreation center, similar to Saint-Tropez. Continuing our trek to the southwest, we come across this area. This appears to be the postal station for the village of Oak Hammock. They'll probably be putting a pool in not too long. And over here, this is a golf maintenance area. You can see this clearly from Marsh Bend Trail as you're going up either north or south on it. The framing for the maintenance structure is now up, and they've also opened the golf cart path that parallels Marsh Bend Trail. We're going to fly to the north now over the Woodlands Championship Golf Course. This is the first 9, and you can see that the fairways are starting to be planted. They've put in sand in the sand traps. Wonderful. Of course, there's plenty of water on the golf course, but, it won't help my game any, that's for certain. Based on what I'm seeing, the way I see this moving next, is Oak Hollow will be the next village up for sale after they finish up with WellPoint. We'll fly back around, we'll get another look here at the golf course, and of course at the WellPoint Recreation Facility. Of course, the big question will be when. I'm going to take a swag and say sometime very early spring, Oak Hollow will start being sold. So that was Oak Hollow. Now let's take a look at Oak Hammock. What is Oak Hammock? Oak Hammock is a private development in Lake County, just south of 466. It's about 1,200 homes, and you can see this is a long shot looking over at Lake Sumter, or Cherry Lake as it's actually called, and the island in the middle of it. And you can see they're putting in traffic circles also. Again, it's going to be about 1,200 homes. This isn't part of the villages. They've got various types of homes. It looks like some townhouses, some freestanding homes. I don't know a whole lot about it. It looks like some families are already starting to move in, though. Where most people know about this development is when they come up Rolling Acres Road and they hit the new traffic circle. It's a little different than what we're used to seeing in the villages because it comes downhill and it's single lane. Personally, I like it. It's a lot easier, I think, than the 2-lane traffic circles, but that's just my opinion. But then again, I do ride a motorcycle, and traffic circles are a heck of a lot more fun than traffic lights or stop signs. This is looking south, and there's more of the area that's going to be developed as part of this development. As I recall, when this property was all being permitted, there was a lot of hubbub about water, and Lady Lake didn't have enough water to supply the development, and there was talk about the villages supplying it. Fortunately, that's been put to rest. The village's water system is designed to supply the community of the villages and not beyond the boundaries. So it really didn't have the capacity for this, at least not in the northern section. Had they planned it ahead of time, that would have been a lot different. Here's the traffic circle I was talking about. Not only does it go roundy, but there's an elevation change on every entry and exit, so again, on a motorcycle, it's a lot more fun. So I just realized I've been saying it wrong. It isn't Oak Hammock, it's Hammock Oaks, so I stand corrected. Hammock Oaks is most of 2 square miles. The area between Rolling Acres and County Road 100 is about a mile wide, and from 466 down to Lake Ella Road is about 2 miles. Unfortunately, they don't own all the property in there, so it's something less than 2 square miles for this development. Still, it's a pretty good sized development. This area is truly growing. The state of Florida adds about 900 new residents every single day, and Sumter and Lake counties make up about 4 to 5% of that addition. So we're not immune to this growth. And it's not just the villages. Again, it's the whole state is growing rapidly. So that's pretty much the Hammock Oaks development. We'll keep an eye on it, but we're not going to follow it too close, as the focus of my channel is basically the villages and those areas immediately surrounding it, not necessarily other housing developments. All right, so that concludes the video portion of it. Now let's take a look at the next 5 years. I've been working on this project in my head for the last 3, maybe 4 years, but it really was always hard to put together just because of the way things were laid out here in the villages. But now, everything is coming together. I think you'll enjoy this, so let's go ahead and take a look. So this is the map for the regional road agreement between the villages and the county, and I'm going to use this as a baseline because it's got some really good details on the future roads. But first this. Welcome to Coral's Casual Patio and Fireplace, serving the villages since 1998. Come visit Coral's Casual's huge showroom in the Best Buy Plaza on US 441. Their wide variety of furniture will accommodate every lifestyle and fit every budget. Coral's Casual carries wicker, polywood, aluminum, and so much more. There's something here for everyone, and delivery is always free at Coral's Casual. Mention this ad and receive your 20% Villagers discount. Come visit Coral's Casual in person or online. They look forward to seeing you soon. So let's start out with a quick overview of the areas we're going to look at. This is the village of WellPoint. Next up, we'll look at Oak Hollow, LaGrange, and Eastport. Then we'll look at the area that covers the village of Edenfield. Then there's the area that makes up Water's Edge and part of Shadybrook. Next is the area that makes up the rest of Shadybrook and Moultrie Creek. We'll move over to the next section of Middleton that's going to be constructed. We'll continue on with the next section of Middleton after that. Then we'll move to the Merritt Field and Farmstead area. Then it's off to Bradshaw Hill and the area that abuts the county line. We'll take a quick look at the area where the Fire Station 49 is being built. And then we'll take a look at this area that kind of looks like the state of Texas, a little bit stretched out. Altogether, we're going to look at about 8,200 acres that are planned for development over the next 5 or so years. So let's get started with this one. The highlighted area is the Laurel Oaks Executive Course. And next to it is the Live Oaks Executive Course. And of course, we have the Central Pay Recreation Center. And the rest of it is the village of WellPoint. First up, we have the postal stations for the villages of WellPoint, Oak Hollow, LaGrange, and Lakeview. Then we have the championship golf course for the Woodlands Golf Course, followed by the Bel Air Executive Golf Course. Next up in blue is the driving range. And after that, we have another village recreation center like Central Pay. And finally, of course, we have Eastport. Altogether, about 3,000 homes will be built in this section. Next up in Edenfield, we have their postal station, which is supposed to be built along McNeil Road to serve about 2,450 homes. And after that, we have the other 9 of the Woodlands Championship Golf Course. And then finally in blue, this appears to be where the clubhouse is going to be for the Woodlands Championship Golf Course. In the Water's Edge and Shadybrook area, you have 2 postal stations. Only one was shown on the map. About 2,000 homes are scheduled for this area. And after that, you have the walking path under the power lines shown in yellow here. In the Moultrie Creek Shadybrook area, we only have one postal station for Moultrie Creek. This area will have about 2,000 homes in it. This is the Shallow Creek Golf Course. It's a championship course, we all know that, and it's country club. Next is the Saluki Recreation Center. And after that is the Street of Dreams. And then we have this large commercial area that's scheduled to be built. And of course, we have the wells and water treatment facility for potable water. This first section of Middleton will have the church being built here, as well as about 500 homes. This area of Middleton will have 2 postal stations, which will serve about 2,100 homes. Plus, it will have 2 small park areas that will serve the residents as well. In the Farmstead Merritt Field area, there are 3 postal stations planned, so obviously there's a third village. These will serve about 3,000 homes. We also have the Beautyberry and Huckleberry golf courses. We have 2 additional executive golf courses. And we have the walking path along power lines in this area as well. In the Bradshaw Hill area along the county line, there are 3, possibly 4 postal stations planned, with the 4th shown here being possibly another village rec center like Saint-Tropez. The area in red appears to be another village recreation center, only a slightly larger one, about 3,700 homes in this area. And the yellow is going to be a regional recreation center with a dog park, just based on its size and that. This is the area where Fire Station 49 is being built. There are no homes in this area. Next up is the area that kind of looks like Texas, and it's big. It's about 1,700 acres. It's got 3 postal stations in it that will serve about 4,500 residents. The area in red appears to be another village recreation center, a lot like Saint-Tropez, I'm sure. And we have a 27-hole championship golf course. And 2 more executive golf courses with their starter shack in between them. The area in blue appears to be the country club or clubhouse for the championship course. And the area just to the north of it is a driving range, and I'm not sure what else, but it seems to all be golf related. So there you have it. That's my predictions. About 21,500 homes. If we add another 2,000 for the area where the Meadows is going, that's 23,500. That's a lot. If the Villages holds to the pace they have for the last 10 years, they'll build between 3,500 and 4,000 homes, which means this is another 6 to 7 years worth of homes that I'm showing here. Wait, I forgot about one thing, the Wellness Village. While this has been placed on hold while they renegotiate to find a new provider for a hospital, it still appears to be a go. It's just a matter of when. There was originally 1,500 dwelling units that were scheduled to go in here. The area shown in yellow was the area that was originally supposed to be for the hospital, as well as the supporting facilities. So what do you think? I think I'm pretty much right on track. I'm pretty confident in most of what I've put in there, and I'm sure that we'll find out as time goes by. I want to thank you all for watching my video over the last few years, and especially watching this one. As the year comes to a close, I wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, or Happy Hanukkah, or whatever religious holiday you may be celebrating. I wish you all the best. Always try and look for the good things in life and don't dwell on the negative. Life is much too short, as we've seen too many times with our friends and our family. So, until next time, be sure to support my sponsors. I'm Don Wiley. Thank you very much. Have a great day.